Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. We've entered August, which means we are in the time frame of the Shadowverse Championship qualifiers. And with that in mind, despite that, we've been seeing more and more drops in the market these days among so many cards and heavy increases on quantities wherever you look. So it's getting more affordable if you are looking to prop up your deck with certain text that you were missing out on. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these cards. The first one is going to be Zurnitra for Dragoncraft, which the SL and the Legendary are getting really close together in terms of base value that's available right now. And if we take a look at some initial listings, the SL currently has $10 essentially, but not as many quantities on those low listings. Can't say the same for the Legendary though, which is around $6-7, but it does have a good amount of quantities on those listings. So that one is still close enough to the point where if it were me, I'd probably just put into the Super Legendary, although it is Zurnitra, which I'm not sure how long this card is going to last in the long term, so maybe if you are looking to pick this up to finish Dragoncraft, it might be better just to go with the Legendary, because they might both go down regardless, but then I'm not sure. Cerberus is the next one, which is a little bit different between its high and low rarities, where the regular Legendary for the base form, that's the one I really want to talk about, has 29 listings, a heavy amount available for a Legendary that is critical to most Abysscraft decks, and its base price is now 13. But the Super Legendary for the base form is $35 minimum and is under 10 listings right now. And to briefly look over it, the Evos are higher in listings overall and lower in price in comparison to their market prices. Taking a closer look at some of them, it's still single listings. Super legendaries don't tend to, I don't think they tend to get listings with a bunch of quantities in them. Same goes with the Evo as well. Although when we take a look at the legendary one, the lowest listings have fewer copies outside of one down here for $15 and 4 copies available. And when it comes to the Evo, it's kind of the same. Although one has 3 listings available. Do keep in mind that for Shadowverse Evolved, you only need 3 copies of a card instead of 4. If you're coming from my Vanguard market watches or Vanguard in general, you're used to 4 copies of a card, but here it's only 3. Ancient Elf is the next one, which I've gone over a few times here and there because of its changes in price that have been happening. But now we have a lot more quantities on the Legendary, which had gone up to about $10, still is around there. And the Super Legendary of the base is also above $10 right now with 14 listings, which is still pretty fair. The Evo has never been that high in value, and the Super Legendary of it has got listings below its market price now by about $4. If we take a closer look, the Super Legendary for the base, again single copies around $15. The Super Legendary for the Evo is $8. Then we look at the regular Legendary, we're looking at $9 to $10 there with a few copies available in the first 3. And the Legendary of the Evo version is just about $2.50 to $3 right now, so yeah, that's just how that is. Erd's Evo form had been sold out the last time I discussed it, but a bunch of quantities ended up back on the market, putting it closer to $4 and around $5 when you consider market price. And the regular version of Erd has so many quantities available in comparison, which is only 75 cents to start with and close to $1 for its market price. And if you watched my box opening from before, I did take another look at the cards that I picked up for the gold rares, and noticed that when it comes to gold rares which have an Evo, the number of Evos that you pick up among gold rares is substantially lower than what I've seen for the non-Evo versions, which explains why many cards like or Shapeshifting Mage have higher value on their evolved versions compared to the base ones. I was wondering about that the whole time, but now it actually makes sense because you don't get as many evolved golds as you do the regular versions. Although it does depend on which cards they are, because some of them just don't see any value, like Archpriestess Layla. This is a unique card which hasn't really seen any play yet, but may, depending on what kind of support we get. It's a defense haven based build, which allows you to attack your opponent based off of your defense power instead of your offensive power. But this card is dirt cheap. So if you're trying to build something that's more heavy ward based or uses more defense based attacks, because even Almirage can work with this pretty nicely, it's easy to build right now if you want to build some kind of variant of this in comparison to the current amulet based build. Floral Fencer, the evolved version of this one, is still basically holding on to its regular values. The one from the starter deck is still around $4 right now, while the promo that you pick up from shop tournaments is still holding around the $12, $13 mark right now. And in terms of quantities, there are some more quantities available for the Evo of the promo, but ultimately, there just hasn't been too much price change in this, and it's just trending lower along with a lot of the other cards. Merlin is one of those cards that continues to maintain its value, but is ticking a little lower right now on the base legendary with a $24 base listing, but its market price is in the $28 area. But the super legendary is still above $50 and is still probably the best super legendary that you can pull right now out of set 1. When you look at the Evo version, it's still about $12 for the base, and then it's in the mid-20s right now for its super legendary version. Taking a look here, we do have multiple quantities for one that's $58.96 for the super legendary, and the super legendary of the Evolve, it's one copy per listing for the first 3. Then we look at the legendary of the regular Merlin, and yeah, it's basically 24 to 26 right now for all these lower end listings. And then you've got the Evo version, which is 11 to 12 at this point. Bellringer, of course, is also seeing a drop, as we've got 33 copies right now of the regular gold, and the premium has 23 listings available. I was saying that this premium version kept jumping between 30 and 40 all the time. Looks like those jumps are done. It's at 28 base right now, and it hasn't really moved from that point. We're looking at 28, 29, 29 again, and now 15 to 16 when it comes to the base form. When we look at the Evo, the premium version of this one is about $5, and then the evolved version, the regular version of the Evolve, is about $2. And to wrap up today's Market Watch is probably the lone spike that we're seeing, at least on the ultimate rare side, Juno's Secret Laboratory. The base version of this has a ton of listings. It's a gold rare that's currently 35 cents to start off, but the ultimate rare was selling for $30 earlier with a market price under that, and now we have listings as low as 40 to 50 on this card. There has been some chatter recently amongst my friends, and from what my friends have heard, of Dirt Rune being a prominent deck to consider for the shop challenges, as it's a pretty versatile deck that can handle most of the meta right now. It's just versatile, but I don't know about its overall prowess. But in any case, if you do want to build Dirt Rune, it's cheaper than building most of the other variants right now, and is still not a bad deck. But if you're trying to max rarity it, the Secret Laboratory is still a $50 under Ultimate, which is still not bad at all. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.